Hi, I'm Osiri-Wisdom, the lead pastor of the Wisdom Place Church. Welcome again to Wisdom for Direction. Today, still in our series on making 2019 your best year ever. In the last episode, I talked about two things: how you ought to be grateful, to have to thank God for what He has done in the years past, and that's a background for you to look forward to a greater year coming. Number two, I talked about how you need to learn how to pray the prayer of inquiry, asking God what to do. And God is willing. Say, when you call me, I will answer. So He wants to answer us. Number three today is that when God is talking to you, and because you are silent, because you are in the mood to receive, because you are like what Habakkuk said. Habakkuk says, Habakkuk 2, he said, I will stand upon my watch to see what he will say and what I will answer when I'm reproved. In other words, he was saying that he's going to hear something. He's also going to see something. That's number two thing. The next thing he says, and I will write it down. He said, write down the vision. Okay, so you now realize that what God is telling you involves some writings, involves some documentation. Okay, but in that documentation, I want to make it easy for you. Don't make it confusing. Just have two lists. Okay, two lists of things you are going to start and things you're going to stop. That's number three. List of things you're going to stop and things you're going to start. You know, in life, before you can make progress, if you are not careful, you are carrying too much. So you have to stop certain things. There are certain relationships that are, kind of releasing negative current, negative atmosphere. You will not do well in a toxic relationship. You will not do well in a toxic atmosphere. Some of those atmospheres or people are things that you have to stop. You have to stop. There are things you have to stop. For instance, if you have been complaining about you overweight and you're still eating 12 midnight, 11:30 p.m. You're still eating and taking ice cream and taking meat pie and visiting the fridge in some hour. You're still going to be able to add weight. And you know what? Prayer may not be able to help you. And don't be deceived. You have to be able to know how to stop going to get all of those things and then chew them. They may be sweet right here within your mouth and your tongue. Your taste bud may be excited, but inside your system, you are raking something. So you have to stop that. You have to stop being lazy, okay? Procrastinating. You have to stop being easily angered, because when you are easily angered, sometimes you spoil things. You spoil relationships. You lose opportunities. You have to find the things that are stopping you and stop them. If you don't stop the things that are stopping you, they will stop you. I'll be right back. Welcome back. Next is to ask yourself, what are the things I ought to start? Sometimes we have things right within us. We're excited, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. Or based on what God has told you, you have to know, you have to start this. Sometimes fear will not allow people to start something. Sometimes you have even tried before and failed. And so you've just concluded, no matter how many times I try, I will still fail. Or maybe your friend has told you how difficult it is. Or maybe you have been disappointed by the system or by other things. And so now you've made up your mind, I can't try anymore. I could just relax at this, my friend. Don't think that way. Rather start. When you start, miracles happen. When you start, forces come together to help you to gain speed. When you start, harvest is easier. When you start, God helps you. It's like God helping the 4 leprous men in 2 Kings 7. He helped them to go forward. Literally, the Bible says, and God amplified their stay. When they were marching on the ground, the Syrians thought that they have gone to range people, to hire an army to fight against them. But that's not true. It was just God supporting them. Let me tell you, when you step out, things rearranged in your favor. God supports you when you step out. So start that. There are a few things you may want to start. Start honoring God in your life. Make up your mind, I'm going to put God first in my life. As we get into 2019, rearrange your priority. Put God first. God literally demands it. God has made up his mind, I will not be number 2. And that's an emotional attachment God has in being number 1. So when you wake up in the morning, hey, go for God first. Read your Bible, pray, thank him for keeping you alive. Before you begin to look at Facebook and what your friends are posting, thank God first. You want to read your Bible. You want to make sure that the days that they are worship days, go and serve God. Go and honor Him. Join others in fellowship and thank God that you are alive. Next, you want to make sure that you are someone that is diligent. Find something you are going to do to earn a living, to make money, to be able to be economically empowered. Don't lazy around. Don't pray for things to fall. Things, manners don't fall again. And amazingly, even when manners were falling, God has to ask them to go right outside the camp to get the manna, which means even with manna falling, they still had to work. There is no welfare system that God supports that is exclusive, that removes work. You still have to work. So God is a worker. Christ is a worker. Decide, I'm going to do something with my life. There's so much value that you carry. You can't afford to be lazy. You can't afford to be the one hiding all those great things that God has called. You want to go for an academic, pursuit, go buy the form. Yes, register. You can go. You've gotten your first degree. You can go for the second one. You got the second one. You can go for the third one. You've done professional exam, the first part. You go for the second one. Just do something. Move forward, knowing that God can help you. You want to start a project, a building project, and you are thinking, I don't have all the money. Let me tell you, no one usually, most times, they don't have all the money. Go and buy one block, one bag of cement, and start something. Go and do what you need to do with what you have. Sometimes you're going to realize this. One, you have to start where you are. Start with what you have and start now. I'll take it again. For you to start, you have to start with what you have, not what you don't have. Number two, start where you are and then start now. The moment you procrastinate, I've realized in my life that most things that people procrastinate never gets done. So make sure you start being grateful, start being the person that is out there to do something. And when you are doing that, let this thing run in your mind. You do not need to be great to start, but you have to start to become great. Things are not as difficult as they first appear at the time you're starting. But when you break that law of inertia, when you break that stuff, you're going to be able to go more. Many people try to feel like starting before they start. No, you have to understand, you don't go from feeling to acting. It's easier to go from acting to feeling. And that's why sometimes when you wake up on Monday morning, you don't really want to go to work. But if you work and live your life based on just how you're feeling, you will be a mediocre person. So you want to excel in life. Rise up there and do what only you alone can do. I'll be right back. Welcome back. I want to specially invite you to Jumpstart 2019 with me and other people at the Wisdom Place Church, Market Junction in the city of Port Harcourt. At Jumpstart, God will be speaking expressly, giving instruction, direction, and grace will be poured out for you to go to the next level. I believe that your best years are not behind you. Your best years, they are ahead of you. The best thing that can happen to you is for you to realize God has not kept your best in your past. God has preserved your best in the future. Be my guest, 10 p.m., 31st December 2018 at the Wisdom Place to Jumpstart 2019 in an atmosphere where almost the impossible can become possible. Let me pray for you, telling you that 2019 is a year you have to jump in excitedly. It's the year you fulfill all that God has called you to do. God is sending men. God is sending women that will join you to fulfill purpose. People are coming that are divinely motivated to join you to fulfill destiny. When God's hand is upon you, are going to outrun both the horsemen and the chariot. Lines are going to fall for you in pleasant places. Maybe you have been trained, you have learned something, you have struggled over the previous year. This year coming, with God on your side, you have tried on your own. Now you are doing this with God, you are going to succeed in a very massive way. People are going to come to you telling you that God has made your life beautiful. Permit me to declare to you again that you can, you shall, you will. In fact, you must fulfill your destiny. For all that is required is already provided. Your best is yet to come. Meet me at the top because that's where you belong. I cherish you and I value you.